you like what you see and you'd like to learn to make this, then keep watching. Okay guys, I'm back tonight to do another DIY. I had intended for this to go up before Valentine's Day, but it's still relevant after Valentine's Day. In tonight's DIY, I'm going to make this really beautiful cake stand. And I'm going to start out using Dollar Tree items. I'm also using some items from Michael's, and I'm also using some items from banggood.com. And I'll have everything, as always, listed in the description box below. Okay, first I'm going to start out with this margarita glass that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I picked this one because it's really heavy and sturdy. Now, if you don't see these at Dollar Tree, you can always use a really heavy candle holder. And they always have a great selection at Goodwill, so I would advise you to go there and look. So we're going to start out with our margarita glass. And I'm going to be using one of the Dollar Tree plates to go on top. I have some tape, and you'll see why I'm using that later. Some of my favorite gemstones that I picked up at Michael's. And we have some of these dangles with hearts on them. And these came from banggood.com. And they actually have two different styles. Maybe I can show you the other style later. But yeah, these are really beautiful. We're also going to be using some of this acrylic garland that I got from banggood.com also. Some E6000. And we'll also be using some of these little square beads. And they have the alphabets on them. Most people use these to make necklaces and bracelets and stuff like that. But I'm using them for a totally different thing. And I'll also be using my glue gun. I also need to get like a crayon or something too. So I'm going to grab that and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I just moved everything aside. And what I want to do is make some lines on my plate. The very first line I want to make is a line to divide the plate in half. And I'm going to use this little wax pencil. You can also use a crayon because we're going to wipe this away later. So let's just make a line directly across and go all the way across. And I'll do the same thing again. I'm just going to freehand it. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. So what I want to do now is take my little square beads and pour some out. And I'm going to glue a bead at every line. And then once I put the glue on there, I'm going to use this tape to help hold the glue in place as it sets up. So I'm going to use my E6000. I would prefer using the Gorilla epoxy glue, but I don't have any. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with the E6000. So what you want to do is take some of the E6000 and put it on one of the beads. Now, what you want to do is, you see that hole? You want to make sure the hole is going this way. Set it right on top of that line. Close to the edge, but not at the very edge. And if you need to, go ahead and add some tape to hold that in place as it sets up. And we're going to continue that all the way around on every line. So now that these have set up for about 30 minutes, I want to go ahead and add a square bead in each one of these spaces all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this up as well, and then I'll come back and pretty much finish our DIY. Okay guys, this is the next morning. So now what I want to do is just go ahead and remove the tape. And check the beads as you go along to make sure that they are on firm. Alright, my base is already clean and ready to go. And so is the bottom side of my plate. So I'm just going to go ahead and take some E6000. And I won't be using the hot glue again because it looks cloudy and I want this to be clear. And now I'm going to stand up and make sure that it's centered. So now I'll just add a weight on top, let this set up for about an hour, and then we'll come back and move on to the next steps. Okay guys, I'm back and it has been about 6 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this weight. But I'm still not going to manipulate this plate too much because I want it to dry a full 24 hours before I do that. So meanwhile, I want to go ahead and put my dangles on and my garland. Initially, I was just going to go ahead and put the hearts on every other bead like this, and then just hang a piece of the garland like this. But now I'm thinking maybe I should put a loop there. So let's try that and see if we like it. What is that? So there's like 5 beads. Just slide that one in there with that one. And then here. Just like that. Alright, so I'm going to have to take another loop and put it here. And again, I'll be using 5 beads. 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'll go ahead and link this one here as well. Alright, just like that. So now I'll go ahead and add another heart right here. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with how that looks. So I'm just going to continue this all the way around. Oh my God. Look at how beautiful this turned out. I am so happy that I came up with using the beads on the glass technique. Now we're no longer stuck on having to use the plastic plates whenever we want to create chandeliers. And I think it's more elegant when you use glass instead of the cheap Dollar Tree plastic plates to do these things, guys. You put in a lot of time to make these chandeliers, and then they're plastic, so this is a true game changer. And I'm so excited that I came up with this technique. So, guys, let's take this and run with it and see what all we can create. Now I'm going to take my gems and put some directly over the beads on top of the plate. And then I'll put some on the sides of the beads. And this is to make it more decorative and also to cover the letters on the beads. And it accents it beautifully. And I'll be using the hot glue to attach these on. My hot glue gun is ready, so let's start attaching the gems. So now we're completely done with adding the gems on top of the plate and on the outside of the beads as well. Okay, now let's bling this thing out some more. I'm going to add some bling around the outside of the plate. I'm also going to add some around the bottom, and then I'll add some around the neck as well. Okay, so I'm starting out with the thinner rhinestone, and I'm going to trim the outside of the plate with it. And I'll be using my hot glue gun to add this on there. And to save time, I went ahead and added some around the neck. And as you can see, I put it in 4 different places. And I'll be using the largest strand of rhinestone to trim out the bottom of my cake stand. So now I'm just searching for the back of the cake stand. And that's where I'll start gluing my rhinestone to the plate. Now here is where you want to take your time. You want to find a glue gun with a small tip and add a little bit of glue at a time. You want to apply the rhinestone as straight as possible. Continue to trim the outside of your plate with the rhinestone until you're done. So I'm done trimming out the plate and the rhinestone, and I must say, it really does make a difference. It was really pretty before, but now it's just beautiful. Moving right along, I'm going to take the larger strand of rhinestone and wrap it around the bottom of the cake stand. So there you have it. We are now done trimming out the bottom of our cake stand, and this rhinestone really makes it look elegant. Okay guys, there's one last step. I'm going to glue these little glass hearts on the base of the cake stand to give it a more decorative look. And I'll be using some of the Dollar Tree Fix-All to glue those hearts onto the base. These little glass hearts are puffed and then they're flat on one side. So what you want to do is apply the glue to the flat side, but apply a very small amount, because once you start gluing these onto the base, they will slide down. If that happens, then you can go ahead and apply some tape to hold it in place until it dries, or you can just do what I did and just push them back in place from time to time, and they'll dry in no time. Also, if you see any smeared glue, don't worry about it. Just let it dry and then come back and scrape it off with your fingernail. So once you're done, glue in the hearts on the base. Just go around and check them all to make sure they're all in the right place. And if you're happy with how it looks, then just go ahead and set it aside to dry. Okay guys, so this is my finished cake stand. And I must say I'm so happy and pleased with it. It turned out even more beautiful than I imagined. And I hope you use my new technique and create something beautiful as well. I hope you enjoyed this DIY, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe now. It's free. I would truly love to have you join my YouTube family. And if you are a subscriber, make sure that you turn on your post notifications. So yeah guys, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.